With the next presidential election just around the corner, it seems like the media is really pushing Donald Trump's name out there. I mean, just recently, news outlets have been releasing stories about his hair. Yeah, you heard me correctly. His hair. This came after Trump complained about how his shower heads don't have enough pressure to them, and this is affecting his hair, which he says has to be perfect. But today we won't be talking about Trump's luxurious mane. No, we will be talking about one of his other desires, one that would leave a huge mark on history for years, because Trump might just want his face beside the 4 other presidents on Mount Rushmore. Hey everyone, what's up and welcome back to Life's Biggest Questions. The voice you're currently listening to belongs to me, Lindsay Ivan, your voice of reason for today's video, which is what if Donald Trump put his face on Mount Rushmore? But before I begin, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Life's Biggest Questions. And don't forget to stay right until the end of the video because I always shout out your comments from my past videos and I react to them. It's a good time. Don't miss out. With that being said, let's dive on into the video. On August 8th, an article released by the New York Times claimed that White House reps inquired about the process of adding more faces to Mount Rushmore. And whose face would they be interested in adding? Clearly not their own, but the current president's. However, Trump tweeted out denying any such thing. Yet, the president does have some history of being interested in adding his face to the monument. Back in 2017, during a speech in Ohio, the president said, and I quote, "I'd ask whether or not you think I will someday be on Mount Rushmore. But no, here's the problem. If I did it joking, totally joking, having fun, the fake news media will say, he believes he should be on Mount Rushmore. So I won't say it, okay? I won't say it. Maybe he won't say it, but maybe he dreams of it. And I mean, why would you even bring that up in the first place if you didn't want the media to make a story out of it? Seems like he just wanted to plant the idea in their minds. That's not all. Back in 2018, during an interview, South Dakota Governor Kristi Noem spoke about her first meeting that she ever had with Trump in the Oval Office. She said, and I quote, "He said, 'Kristi, come on over here, shake my hand.' I shook his hand and I said, 'Mr. President, you should come to South Dakota sometime. We have Mount Rushmore.' And he goes, 'Do you know it's my dream to have my face on Mount Rushmore?' She originally thought Trump was joking, so she started to laugh. Then she realized that he was being completely serious. But Trump is adamant that this whole thing is just fake news. To clear the air, Trump tweeted saying, and I quote, "Never suggested it, although based on all of the many things accomplished during the first 3.5 years, perhaps more than any other presidency, sounds like a good idea to me." So there you go. He claims he did not suggest such a thing, but he is interested in the idea. In fact, on the 4th of July celebration, Trump visited Mount Rushmore for their fireworks celebration. There, Governor Christie presented him with a replica of the monument, with his face added to it. This will have to make do for now. Not only that, but on that day, he took a photo of him posing in front of Mount Rushmore. He was positioned perfectly so that his head aligned with the other presidents carved into the mountain. What are you implying there, Trump? Maybe he wanted us to envision his idea and possibly consider it. So now, here comes the question. What if Donald Trump was entirely serious and put his face on Mount Rushmore? I mean, he has said he's one of the best presidents ever. In 2018, in a speech at the United Nations, Trump said, and I quote, "In less than 2 years, my administration has accomplished more than almost any administration in the history of our country." Then in 2019, he said, "I've always said I can be more presidential than any president in history, except for honest Abe Lincoln when he's wearing the hat." So he certainly does feel worthy and deserving of some sort of recognition. Maybe this being placed up there with all the other great presidents. But first off, there's not enough room to add another person to the mountain containing Presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Theodore Roosevelt, and Abe Lincoln. According to a spokeswoman at Mount Rushmore, she said, and I quote, "There is no more carvable space up on the sculpture. When you are looking on the sculpture, it appears there might be some space on the left next to Washington or right next to Lincoln. You are either looking at the rock that is beyond the sculpture, on the right, which is an optical illusion, or on the left, that is not carved carvable. So it may not be a possibility at all. But this may not stop Trump from at least trying, which runs the risk of destroying parts of the mountain or the carvings themselves. Unfortunately, the original Rushmore sculptor, Gutzon Borglum, passed away in 1941, but I'm sure Trump could find someone else that would be willing to recarve the mountain. Even if the people say that the job is not possible, it's Trump we're talking about here. He's going to find a way to make it happen. In fact, over the years, Trump has taken over sites where he has completely demolished it and then rebuilt it to suit his plans. So in this case, maybe Trump will order the sculpture to knock down a large section of the mountain so that his face can be added. And in extreme cases, he may order all of the sculptures to be knocked down and then re-sculpted in order to fit himself on it. Though that would be a big job, and thousands of people would be against him doing so. I could see there being protests protecting this historical monument. It's very beautiful and old. I know that people would be out there defending it. Additionally, the carvings on Mount Rushmore began in 1927 and finished in 1941. It took over 400 men to complete this, so it's not going to be an easy and quick job, even with today's technology. No, it's going to take quite some time. In fact, his term of presidency is going to be up soon, meaning he won't have the power to make this happen. But if he somehow still manages to make this happen, well, then I guess the face of history will quite literally be changed. I mean, Trump is already going to be in a lot of history books in the future, but with his face on Mount Rushmore, it will be even more so. Also, if this happens, there's going to be a lot of media coverage following the whole thing, from day one of construction until day whenever it's done. And if any accidents occur along the way, well, guess who's going to be at fault? Trump. Everyone would pin the blame on him, since it was his idea in the first place. Then when the construction is complete, it's going to be buzzing with tourists. A lot of people would want to come check out the new addition to see how it turned out in person. Mount Rushmore is going to be the new hotspot. Furthermore, if the addition of Trump's face to Mount Rushmore doesn't turn out how Trump wanted it to be, I could see his section being demolished and then redone. I mean, obviously he's going to want to look good up there, and if he doesn't, well, who would want a massive sculpture of themselves that doesn't look good? I certainly wouldn't. And we know the president is protective of his hairdo. He wants it always looking perfect, as he has been quoted saying before. If his hair doesn't look good, that thing is coming down. What a waste of time, money, and energy. It's going to be a lot of pressure for those workers to get the sculpture right, especially when Trump's the judge. Alright, so let's say that adding to Mount Rushmore was just completely out of the question, because chances are it most likely is. Then what would happen? Well, I could see Trump picking a different mountain and claiming it as his own. From there, he could have his face carved into his very own mountain. Maybe not just one face, but 5 faces. All of himself. He could name it Mount Trumpmore. In fact, he may just turn the whole area surrounding the mountain into an attraction site. It could be filled with theme park rides, all Trump related. Imagine that, a whole place dedicated to Trump and his successes, along with an area in the park dedicated to his family. Maybe if he's generous, he will get their faces carved into the mountain as well. Maybe not all of his family members, but certainly First Lady Melania and his daughter Ivanka. In the park, there would probably be sections where you could buy Trump-themed products, such as Make America Great Again hats, shirts with his face on it, mugs, magnets, whatever, you name it. I mean, who knows what the future holds? But it seems like Mr. Trump will want something to commemorate his time in office. If other presidents got their face carved into a mountain, why can't he? Plus, he's always trying to one-up Obama, claiming that he's doing more than Obama ever did. If Trump got sculpted into Mount Rushmore and Obama didn't, well, then he would use that against him and be like, see, I was the better president all along. But who knows what the future holds for America and Trump. Maybe he will be commemorated in some way once his term ends. Maybe his dreams will come true and he will get a spot on Mount Rushmore. Or maybe he won't. Who knows? Only time will tell. And that's all for today's video. Let's move on to our comment shoutout portion. I'll be shouting out comments from my video, What If the Roman Empire Discovered America? Brady Morgan commented, can you answer this question? What if Willy Wonka's chocolate factory was real? That would be sick! Oh man, I wish it was real. Imagine winning a golden ticket and getting to explore that massive magical candy factory. I'm all for it. But I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to me like some of those characters. Aaron McPhee commented, they would probably Roman about the Americas. Oh, no, that's a terrible pun. I love it. Leave me your best puns in the comments below and I'll shout them out in my next video because I love puns. Noah Dennis commented, what if SpongeBob SquarePants didn't exist in the show? Well, the show wouldn't be named SpongeBob, that's for sure. Maybe the show would then revolve around Squidward. But then that would just be depressing. No, we need SpongeBob. Cicerti GH commented, yes, what are you thinking? Let me know. Facts for Life commented, what if time did not exist? Then my days would be seriously messed up. But then I would never be late for anything, technically, if there was no time, so that's a plus. And that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shoutout. And as always, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to Life's Biggest Questions for more thought-provoking videos. I've been your host, Lindsay Ivan, and stay curious, YouTube.